Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. I hope every student of mine is taking care of himself and cleanliness as well. Grade 2. Today we are going to start our very new topic, unit number 12, sound. If you look around, you will be able to see that sounds are everywhere. Sound is a very important part of our life. We are able to communicate with each other mostly with the help of sound. Sound is a type of energy made by vibrations. Can you clap with the help of one hand? Can we play the drum without thumping a drum? No, because sound can only be produced with the help of two objects. There are many types of sound in the world, like pleasant sounds, like music, unpleasant sounds, like traffic noise. Pleasant sounds are good to hear, just like we love listening to music, whereas unpleasant sounds do not sound good to hear, just like traffic noise. There are some sound words as well, like boom. It's the sound of a bomb exploding, the popping sound of a popcorn, and the ding-dong sound of a doorbell. When you fall on the ground, a third sound is heard. So all these, my dear students, are different types of sounds. Now we will discuss how does sound travel. Sound travels from one place to another. For example, if someone is playing a musical instrument in one part of a room, the sounds that they are producing will travel through air and be heard by a person sitting in a different part of the room. That means that sounds are always traveling. There are many mediums through which sound can travel. For example, air, water, and solid objects. Means we can hear sounds if sound vibrations are traveling in the air or through the water or through any solid object. The amazing fact is that sound waves travel more fastly in the water. If you put your head on the table and ask your friend to smash a spoon on the table, you will hear the vibrations and the sounds coming from the table. Isn't that amazing, my dear students? So, we concluded that sound always needs a medium to travel. Now, we'll discuss how are sounds created. Sounds are created when something vibrates. Vibration means shakes or moves back and forth. Back and forth moves, it moves forward and then it moves backwards, sending waves of vibration. These vibrations create sound waves which move through mediums such as air and water before reaching into the ears of the listener. When a bell is struck, the metal of the bell starts vibrating. The vibrations then travel through the air as sound waves. These vibrations, when they reach our ears, they make the eardrums start vibrating, and then we hear the sound of a bell ringing. Here we developed a very important fact that sounds are created with the help of vibrations. When these vibrations reach to our ears, they make our ears vibrate, and that is how we hear sounds. Now we'll discuss what are vibrations. Vibrations are steady back and forth movement. Back and forth means the particles move forward and then they move backward. Vibration is a movement of particles. When an object vibrates, it starts moving and it moves back and forth really fast. So fast, in fact, that our eyes can't often see them moving, but other parts of our body can sense vibrations, and I bet you know what those parts are. That's right, our ears. Now we'll see how does a sound reach our ears. Sound is made up of vibrations or sound waves that we can hear. These sound waves are made by objects vibrating. As we all discussed, vibrating means shaking or moving back and forth, forward and backward. When these sound waves or vibrations travel through air, water, and solid objects as vibrations, these vibrations reach our ear. These vibrations make the delicate, very soft skin of our eardrums vibrate. The brain recognizes these vibrations as sounds made by different things. The size and shape of these sound waves determines the kind of sound heard. That is a loud sound or a soft sound. We will discuss that in the later part of the lesson. For now, we are going to listen different types of sounds. For example, let's hear the sound of a guitar. Now let's hear the sound of a violin. Let's hear the sound of a traffic. Now let's hear the sound of a bicycle bell. So my dear students, all these are different types of sounds. Some sounds may sound pleasant to hear and some sounds may sound unpleasant to hear. All these different objects produce vibrations and these vibrations reach to our ears where brain recognizes them and sounds of different types. Different sounds make different types of waves. The sound an object makes depends on how fast it is vibrating, and depending on different types of sounds, there are two types of sound waves: low pitch sound and high pitch sound. When an object vibrates quickly, high pitch sounds are heard. High sounds have waves that have a smaller gap between each wave. That means there are more number of vibrations created in a high pitch sound. Low pitch sound are created when an object moves or vibrates slowly. Low sounds have waves that have a large gap between each wave. That means in a low pitch sound there are less number of vibrations. Let's hear the sound of a whistle. Let's hear the call of a cuckoo bird. Which of these sounds will produce a higher pitch sound and a lower pitch sound? That's right. The sound of a blowing of a whistle will create more vibrations through the air, and that is why it is a high pitch sound, whereas the call of a cuckoo bird will produce low vibrations or less number of vibrations through the air, and that is why it is a low pitch sound. Now, let's move forward to the loudness of sound. Loudness of a sound tells us how soft or loud a sound is. For example, if we talk to our friends, our voice is soft. But if we address a public gathering, our voice is loud. For example, if you give a speech to a number of students, you will speak more loudly. If I am standing in the class and I am giving you a lecture, that means I have to speak loudly. If we strike a drum lightly, we hear a soft sound. If we strike the drum harder, we will hear a louder sound. Loudness of a sound also depends upon the distance from where we hear the sound. If our ears are very close to the sound, we will hear a very loud sound. But if we stand in a distance away from the sound, we will hear a very low sound. Example, if you're in a concert and you stand near the speakers, you will hear a very loud sound. But if you go far away from the speakers, we will hear a low sound. Now, your activity is to wrap a metal pot with plastic sheet and skewer it with rubber bands. Now sprinkle some pepper onto the sheet. Now strike the bowl with a spoon. The bowl will vibrate and these vibrations will travel to plastic sheet and make the peppers dance, and then we hear different sounds. Now to wrap up the lesson, we will again revise the concepts that sound is a type of energy made by vibrations. Vibrations are steady back and forth movement of particles. When these vibrations travel through some medium like air, water, or solid objects, they reach to our ears. Our ears send the message to the brain. The brain recognizes these vibrations as different sounds. That is how we hear different sounds. I hope all of you are clear with the concept. We'll meet you in the next lesson. Thank you and Allah Hafiz.